tail of that vehicle there. Based off the information I'm seeing in our emails, 3 suspects. Is that what you are also hearing possibly, Chris?
I'm sorry, Michelle, one more time.
I said, based off some information we're getting from our assignment desk, it could be about 3 suspects in the vehicle. Is that also what you're hearing?
All right, so we're far away from this one.
Right now. We do believe
it must be a no-fly zone.
Don't know how many. I can tell you that we covered a pursuit earlier this afternoon. To recap, shortly before 3 o'clock, they were carjacking suspects that led police on a wild chase through Compton, ending in an apartment complex where the sheriff's department, actually, I believe it was, I believe they were sheriff's deputies. If my memory serves me correctly, they might have been LAPD. Actually, no, they were LAPD units.
Okay, tell us.
Actually chased them into Compton and had a hard time sorting out who was who there. There were a number of people detained in that apartment complex, and there was a barricade situation, a standoff that ensued during that entire ordeal. There were so many people, they didn't know.
That pisses me off that we didn't get to see that.
Involved in that pursuit, who the carjackers were, et cetera, et cetera. And there was a pursuit, there was a barricade that ensued, and then at some point late this afternoon, these suspects apparently, not sure if they're the same guys, but jumped in that white vehicle, and now they are coming northbound. It looks like northbound on Figueroa. You can see they did a big loop there. There were a number of officers at each of those intersections just now.
Looks like it's sped up right now.
And I can tell you that they are trying to angle for a spike strip attempt.
So they think maybe these are the same guys?
I don't think that opportunity
I don't know if you guys know, earlier I went live, but we had an issue because
we're talking about rush hour traffic.
They could not, CBS was on it, and they could not keep their signal straight. So I had to stop streaming before they had figured it out. And apparently there's barricade, all this stuff. I wish I could have streamed it. So anyway, we don't know exactly what's going on because I missed all of that.
You've got about another 10 units who are trying to catch up.
But at least the guy's driving towards the helicopter now. It might be the guy. Stay stunting. It might be.
Lots of resources here. They are using the help of LA County Sheriff's Department. And they are
it sounds like they don't know, but they're calling it carjacking suspect again.
I think right now there's just too much traffic in their way, and they haven't really.
We got 5+ cops
for
sure.
They are doing circles on the west side of
we
the
got a no-fly
zone.
zone.
So they seem to be pretty comfortable.
Sean, welcome.
With
Wonder Figure, Luis.
This is where that pursuit
Jimmy
started
Opa,
earlier this afternoon. Even
DJ,
though it ended
Coco
in Compton,
Creamer,
these guys came from Compton and ended up right
back
in
Danger
South
Tater.
Central, where we believe
Lots of traffic
all of this began earlier today. Again, all of this is preliminary information. We're just giving you the best details that we have been able to gather from radio traffic and our assignment desk. Again, a lot of moving parts here. Very violent criminals behind the wheel of that white sedan right here as they come up past Manchester Avenue.
All right, and heading northbound on Figueroa past Manchester. If they continue in this direction, it's going to bring them by BMO Stadium, where a soccer match is about to get underway. And so the traffic is going to be even worse than it normally would be. And it's bad enough right now. You can see he's having to really thread his way through all these vehicles, sometimes going on the wrong side of the road.
It seems like they're still super far away.
Right there.
But how many people in the car? So they're saying it's at least 3?
On Figueroa Street in southwest
is
Los
what
Angeles.
It says 3 suspects
now
in vehicle.
Heading north and now past the airport.
Orby bro,
TCA,
welcome. OG, welcome.
And into an area where we can better get a picture of where he's going. And I say he, but there could be several people, as Michelle mentioned, at where they are going, perhaps. And again,
they caught 1 earlier, so 1 of the 4.
You note the
all right, let's run the prediction
that are being dedicated to this.
Prediction
and
up.
How many officers are involved in this at this moment? Again, going the wrong way now.
We got some Euro time.
Southbound lanes of Figueroa Street, flashing his lights as if to tell people to get out of the
way.
But there's just too many people, too many cars.
Here,
Go ahead, Chris.
The volume here, Mark, is really concerning me. We have a lot more volume ahead of them here.
A lot more cars?
Lots of stops and starts in the middle of rush hour, no less. You can see he's got a little bit of a stretch here, and then there's going to be more traffic. The closer he gets to Expo Park, to BMO Stadium, and closer to downtown, there's going to be a lot more traffic. That really limits LAPD's options here. They're going to give him a wide berth here, but as you mentioned, he is blowing through a number of red lights here. We've already seen that in the last couple of minutes. Has no problem getting over those double yellow lines, going the wrong way
Both things overlapping,
traffic here already, creating a little bit of distance as LAPD.
Eurotime, stay stunting. It's when they're going on the wrong side of the road. Gino, welcome.
He just turned east on 59th. That's Figueroa at 59th, just about a block from the 110 freeway.
Man, they're still super far away.
110 freeway, under all of that rush hour traffic, and we'll see him come hopefully right back out the other side. There he is, traveling eastbound.
Man, I wish they would come closer.
59 through Olive here from the 110 freeway. LAPD able to make that turn with him, although they are about now a
come this way,
away.
come this way. There we go.
Another northbound turn, this time onto Broadway, northbound Broadway from 59th. Once again, just about 2 blocks over.
What's the no-fly zone right now? Why can't they fly anywhere? They're just standing still.
A little bit faster where he can, but he's got traffic to contend with, and yet another red light.
He takes a turn here.
We're
not going to see him very well.
He is either going to turn or he's behind that tree. There he is. He went right through, straight through, northbound Broadway, coming up on 56, speeding up a little bit. You see a lot of traffic on the southbound side. He's got pretty much wide open road on the northbound side. All right,
looks like we had most of the points were on.
And then it's going to jam up on him once again. He does slow down. He hasn't really shown a willingness to ram into other cars in his way. He just kind of threads the needle and looks for any gap in the traffic to get through here.
Now, what is this no-fly zone?
About 100 feet back there as he made that left turn.
Wonderfinger, you got any idea what is this? Oh, Homer, welcome.
52nd Street, going back over the 110 freeway, coming back over.
Where are they that the police got or that the news helicopter has to be this far away? Nigma, welcome.
Coming up
I'm doing well.
Here, he's got a little traffic and another northbound turn.
Crypto,
so
welcome.
He's really zigzagging his way through here. A little bit of cat and mouse with these officers, but he's making these turns up as he goes along, but traveling in the same general direction. He's slowly creeping his way further north.
The soccer game? I don't think the soccer game probably gets. I don't know, maybe.
Downtown. Again, where these people reside, where they want to take this, really is anybody's
guess.
Yeah,
Filsky, I know they said a soccer game, but is that what the no-fly zone is?
But I don't think that's going to happen tonight. They have
Yo,
a
Crypto,
huge
thank
amount
you.
of resources that are dedicated to these guys, and already LAPD has to be wondering how these guys got away from right under their nose. There was a barricade situation in Compton where we believe this
new
pursuit
member. Thank you,
began.
Crypto.
Again,
Appreciate
this is
it.
possibly related to another pursuit in a different vehicle. Again, carjacking suspects who stole the car at gunpoint, and that appears to be the case here as well. So they're now traveling northbound, making a right turn on Vermont at 51st. And again, going the wrong way there, going around traffic, going the wrong way on 51st. And I don't even see those black and whites on Vermont yet. So
Lost
they have
the cops.
back a little bit. Now traveling westbound.
Yeah, it feels like so
51st,
much of the sky is no fly
zone. They wanted to dump
zone.
the vehicle and jump out. This is probably going to be an opportunity for them. But right now, it looks like they're going to keep going. You wouldn't be surprised either if you see one of those passenger doors pop open. If he starts dropping off.
Yeah, you can't fly out of the stadium, but I don't know how.
Here, we might see
how big is a no-fly zone around a soccer stadium? I don't know.
But right now, he is facing a little bit of traffic on 51st.
And Hunt, what's
we do
up?
not know how far back LAPD is here, but he is still moving westbound on 51st, coming up on Budlong Avenue, slowing down with this traffic here. He can either make a north or southbound turn on Budlong, and he's going right through it, continuing further west here.
I mean, the police helicopter has no
David
problem.
Ono joining you now as the 5 p.m. newscast begins. And 6 p.m. newscast begins. We are being thrown off by this pursuit here. But we want to recap what we know about what's happening here. We understand that these are carjacking suspects and possibly related to an earlier carjacking. Is that correct?
That's the
Eddie, what's up? Yeah, it is.
That we're working with.
They do a really good job. Like the news chopper has been very far away from the chase for a lot of this, and they've kept their eyes on the chase for the most part.
There was a lot of commotion and a lot of confusion at the end of that.
Shout out your kids. Just shout out to Stay Stunting's kids.
A barricade situation in an apartment complex, and
what are their names?
This same group started this pursuit in that same apartment complex or in that same area of Compton. Now you see LAPD has taken this pursuit over, at least the airship has taken over from the Sheriff's Department, who was helping out here for a while. Sheriff's Department does have some interest in this pursuit as well. This started in their jurisdiction, but these are probably, in all likelihood, if these are the same suspects.
All right, now we got a cop right behind him.
Wanted violent criminals by LAPD. Again, this all started earlier this afternoon. If this is connected in this,
they just keep saying if it's connected, maybe it's connected. Blah blah blah. It's like okay.
West LA.
They don't know
we
shit.
We might see that spike strip laid down any minute. But once again,
they
good
don't know
news,
shit.
they have caught
okay,
up with
we
him
got any other
putting
news
a little bit of
stations on
distance.
this?
He's now going southbound on Danker, coming up on 47th. Again, that whole contingent of LAPD officers were able to catch up, and now here they are following him, making these turns with him. Another left turn. Now he's done another circle here. A good indication that he may be hitting a spike strip if they can set up for one. He's traveling a little bit too fast, too.
Yeah, it's on NBC,
look at that
too.
rear end damage.
Okay.
He's already
They got a little bit
something
better angle of it
that
right
has
now,
been there
too.
for a while. We heard that as part of the original description of this vehicle, that the vehicle was heavily damaged in the rear. You can see that rear end damage right behind that right rear wheel.
Yeah, I'm going to switch us.
Now traveling northbound on Normandy. This is about the third time they have ended up on Normandy. They keep getting on Normandy, turning off, doing circles in the neighborhood, but slowly creeping their way further north here. We are.
Is it Eliana?
They had undercover units behind it as well. And the
no, it's not.
thing here, again, is that this is confirmed to be related to that earlier pursuit. Wanted for robbery, possible carjacking.
Oh, Coffee, welcome.
On the LAPD scanner up here in News
Yin Yang, what's up?
There might have been a home invasion call related to this as well. We heard chatter about a possible hostage involved.
Okay,
in
they
this,
are saying something totally different.
In this car, aside from the driver, you can see how darkly tinted the windows are. And if you do see our camera lagging a little bit here, it's because it's actually moving so quickly again through the streets of South LA. Let me widen out here so you can see the number of black and whites behind it. I sure hope everyone
on YouTube hit the thumbs up. Thank you.
Rush hour traffic, they are aware this is a pursuit. And you can see this driver.
They keep juicing the story. Dude, on this one, there was a hostage. On the other one, it was a carjack. Nah, this one, there might have been a hostage.
Some of these turn lanes, stop signs, red lights. And it looks like he's, nope, not making a right turn. Continuing
and yeah,
on
we
here,
can't trust this lady.
Our map is not working.
Okay, we might have to switch back.
Yeah, passing this
I don't know which one of these
structure now. This shopping area with a Cinemark. And LAPD still in hot pursuit behind this white sedan.
Let me stop you for a second. The speedometer we have up there registers 0. I can tell you that's wrong. Any idea what kind of speed?
I can tell you the zeros are wrong.
Blowing past everyone
Thanks.
on this road.
Yeah, I mean, you can see our speedometer reading 0.
Good one.
That's
We're
going
to switch back.
This
driver it's better over here.
Probably going at least 70 miles per hour on these surface streets, going even faster earlier.
That he was doing, and he's going somewhere else.
Right. There is an attempt. There was an attempt to coordinate for a spike strip. They've given the go-ahead if they have that opportunity.
KTLA's
but as you
on
mentioned,
it too.
David, really hard to say. He's picking up more steam now, and really hard
so we got a couple
few spike strips until he establishes a pattern. And
I think KTLA, or I think that NBC is actually ahead.
Lanes of traffic, a lot more traffic traveling eastbound with them here,
Damn,
coming really close at high rates of speed. This guy is going to end up crashing.
Jesus is nuts.
This recklessly at these speeds, this is going to end in disaster for him as he comes up on these intersections, which are loaded with rush hour traffic. Now continuing along Martin Luther King Boulevard here, westbound MLK, coming up on Crenshaw at the mall, continuing underneath the mall and doing about 75 miles per hour. The speed limit here cannot be more than 45 miles per hour, just to give you an idea. He's now closing in on 90 miles per hour as he closes in on Crenshaw.
Yeah, 6 o'clock in this area is very, very busy. Lots of cars, lots of pedestrians near the Crenshaw area there where he is speeding.
Another
through.
Camry. We got 2 Camrys in a row.
Suspects. We have word there could be
3
3 suspects
yesterday
in this
there was a
vehicle,
Camry.
but authorities tell us that they believe this, the driver at least, is armed and dangerous.
Yeah, the charges are really extensive here. This all started as a carjacking suspect, but we later found out that they were wanted for possibly kidnapping. They are believed to be involved in an armed robbery.
What?
The
so many
things
things?
they were originally in was stolen.
Oh, wait.
These RGTA suspects, whether this particular
NBC is so far ahead, I don't think we can keep watching this. I saw him turn around that bus like a minute ago.
But they did...
and then I turn over here and they immediately have tech issue. Okay, great. Yep, that was smart on my part. Anyway, okay. We'll go back. Sorry. Okay.
We're really talking about a legitimate crime spree here as he continues, and really impossible can see those windows are very heavily tinted, so we really are working in the blind here. Perhaps LAPD has a little more information as to what's going on inside of this vehicle. You can see it's got paper plates, by the way, and I want to say
MJ,
that's a
welcome.
Toyota, maybe a Toyota Camry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks
And yeah,
like a Toyota
Yin Yang
Camry
is right.
with
There's
paper plates, rear end damage there.
there's not much they can do.
At this vehicle as we get really close up, coming up on Clyde Avenue on Obama Boulevard, continuing westbound, and these suspects are showing no signs of slowing down, guys.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to switch this to NBC.
I'm
Seriously,
curious,
it's so
and I
far
know-
ahead.
I know
They're in
you
a
probably
neighborhood
do
right
not
now.
have the answer, but when we
They're
first
just-
joined
ABC
you
is just
this
somehow
afternoon
way
at
behind.
3 o'clock, you were on.
Okay. Hopefully they stay with it here.
And they believe this is one of the outstanding suspects in that? Am
That's
I correct? Okay.
That is all correct. I heard you there, Colleen. We're back with you now.
Evo,
Heard all of
welcome.
That is correct.
And
Those are
Whimsical,
the
how's it
dots
going?
that we've connected
Different
and
people from
confirmed
earlier.
with
They're
LAPD.
saying that they think
Their
it's the
watch
same
commander
person from
confirmed this
earlier. Who
pretty
the
early
fuck
on in
knows?
the pursuit, and I think that's
They don't
why
know,
they've dedicated all
is
of
the
these
bottom line. They
resources
don't
to
know.
stopping this driver who's now winding through surface streets in Culver City. Again, this started in Compton, now in Culver City.
Oh, we hit
And
15
we
minutes.
believe this is one of the outstanding suspects from that earlier carjacking that led to the afternoon pursuit. And you saw the black SUV there at the top of our 3 o'clock newscast when it was stopped in the entryway of an apartment complex. We did see one man being taken into custody there, but again, multiple suspects involved in that one, and this could be one of those outstanding suspects.
It could be.
That's what it sounds
They don't
like to
know.
me. They still have
Everyone's saying the
multiple
same thing on all these
helicopters on
stations.
this.
Well, I mean, it
They
might have
called
been
for
this, it
additional
might have been
ground
a
units, but it
kidnapping,
looks
it
like
might have been a
LAPD on the
robbery,
ground now,
might have been a
maintaining
carjacking.
a larger gap, more of a distance than we saw before, as this driver continues driving recklessly. And you see it disregarding lanes here and just doing what this driver needs to do to get around traffic. Driving on the wrong side of the road now. That was a close call. That could have easily been a head-on collision. And your question about when LAPD is going to pull back, I mean, the way this driver is going now, he might be daring LAPD
Yeah,
to
seriously,
stop
they might
pursuing
wanna
him.
chill
We've
out.
seen LAPD do that before. Decide to pull
Oh,
back
Halo,
from the
what's
pursuit,
up?
turn their lights and sirens off,
And
go
Dexter,
into
how's
what
it
they call
going?
tracking mode, where they just keep an eye
Whoa.
on this from overhead. So we'll see if they decide to do that here as it gets more dangerous and as these roads get busier.
Julia, the situation here, if I heard you correctly, is they think there may be a hostage
Yo, thank you. What
connected
happened?
here,
Oh, 200 bits.
And if so, that would be
Yo,
one
thank
of the
you.
reasons they
MJ, I
don't pull
appreciate
back.
you.
Another reason why they
Use
may
your channel
have two
points,
choppers
Gamble.
on
What
that.
do you think this
So
will
we think there
last?
may be a
30
driver
total
and
minutes?
possibly
That means
a
another like
hostage
12
involved
minutes.
in this car.
We don't know that. We haven't seen that. I haven't heard
Tracking
additional
mode,
standard chatter
right.
indicating that could be the case. We heard that earlier, and that could have been, just notes from LAPD.
Looks like they
about
backed
what
off,
happened
right?
leading up to this chase. There might have been a hostage involved in that potential home invasion call that happened before
the
this
original
pursuit.
one
We
at
don't
3
know if there's
o'clock.
anybody actually
Is this
in
car? We
this
don't know
car
that. Yin Yang
with
is
the
very
driver. Let me
unclear if
zoom
this
in
is the
tight
car
and
they
see if we
stole.
can actually get a peek
Or if the one
inside
they
these
stole was
windows.
the
They
one
are
earlier
very
today.
darkly
Or
tinted.
what?
All we know
Is
for
it?
now
It
is that
can't be the
this
same car.
driver,
I
this
assume
suspect in the
this
pursuit
is
here,
not the
white
one they
sedan,
carjacked.
is
Because
wanted
earlier,
for
the police
211.
got the
That's
car
code
that
for
supposedly was
robbery
carjacked.
in LA, and this
They
is
definitely got
connected
it.
to that earlier
So-
carjacking pursuit that ended around 3 p.m.
This is a
in the
different
city of
car.
Compton.
All right, Julia, if you can just please give us an idea as to whereabouts we're at, just so our viewers have a
Whoa,
better
whoa,
idea as well.
whoa.
Yeah, so it looks to me like this is now going to be in the mid-city area. This is close to the 10 freeway, and we'll see if this driver decides to get on the 10. Earlier, it was just around the 110. I thought it would get on that freeway, maybe turn back south and head
This
toward
person has shown
Compton,
no
where they
interest in
started
getting on
near
the freeway.
105 and the 110. But we'll see what this driver decides.
Because it seems
to
like
do
the
now. It's
smaller roads you
primarily
keep going
been
on here, you're going to
surface
hit a
streets
dead end,
as we've been
which is what we
streamlining
saw.
the
What
news
was that, a
chopper
chase
for
last
here. I
night?
don't believe this driver knows his way around. Maybe that's why he started driving on the wrong side of the road earlier when he easily could have gotten around traffic, driving legally in his lanes.
And this is a narrow street there.
Yeah, it looks like it just went under
Whoa,
the 10
is that a-
freeway.
he's
You
hitting
see that
speed
LAPD
bumps here.
chopper flying through our
High
shot here.
speed.
These are very narrow roads. Fortunately, I don't see pedestrians out and about, but you've
Sven,
seen
how you
already
doing?
several near misses.
Michael,
there
what's
was
up?
a near head-on collision
Joe
just
Mono,
moments
what's
ago.
up?
And the back-end damage I'm seeing on this car tells me this driver does not care if he crashes. He's just trying to get away.
Well, at least he is out of that residential area and back on a major. Wow, is he on the wrong side of the road? What is this street here?
He's going so fast, seriously.
Let me try and pull up the map here. This might be Washington. This might be Venice. This is something that I believe runs parallel to the 10 freeway. And you saw
the video on KTLA right now is a bit better.
Switch us over there. Earlier. I wonder if that means they're trying to set up spike strips as they try and anticipate.
He's willing to go wrong side of the road at a high rate of speed and go right into traffic. It's insane to do that at this hour.
I mean, one wrong move and this could be catastrophic. And so, you know,
dude, we all got bad connection issues. Like earlier today, we had real bad connection
and watch the LAPD keep up with him. You know, you just wonder if maybe perhaps he'll slow down just enough for a pit maneuver and put a stop to this. And Gil, you know what? Have they been even approved to do a pit maneuver, even though that it's at these high speeds? Maybe when he gets down to like the 35 to 45 mile per hour
There's just nowhere they are that's going to make sense for that.
Approve a pit maneuver for this one?
Anyway.
I think they would, especially at points like this where he slows down and makes a right
There's
turn
just
or a left
it's
turn.
constant traffic. You can't pit move anybody anywhere.
For a pit maneuver, but
where are you going to do that?
LAPD's talking about trying to do spike strips more than.
Where are you going to do spike strips too? Like none of this seems realistic to me.
Because of the speed this car is driving, the only chance they're going to get is like this, where they
like there's so many cars around.
He's going to turn there, but he does not. So they're looking for an opportune time to do that, right when he slows down enough to make that happen.
Yeah, that's an interesting
they tried it.
When you're on major
they tried
boulevards and thoroughfares with
Do you think that worked?
Parts. There was an LAPD officer there out of his patrol cruiser and in the crosswalk.
It didn't seem to me like they got it.
That was at some sort of an attempt or the beginning of an attempt at a spike strip, but
he threw it out
much
there.
More effective when you can get them in the neighborhood, and you know they're driving on a narrow street and they're the only one that's moving.
I didn't think it looked like he got it.
And you can get hide behind another car, and we've seen them do that so many times. But out in the open like this. Increasingly difficult to be successful with that.
Yeah, what's up, GP?
Although they will try.
You're welcome.
And as I said, there's a pedestrian just crossing, and now LAPD on the wrong side of the road as well.
I don't know how to say your new name.
Driving continues. These
it didn't get him. Yeah, he's going too fast. I think you're right.
At this point, how many people are in the car? But this situation is very, very dangerous, very volatile, and the LAPD is sticking with it for the time being on the ground. As you see this moving up into the 60, 70 mile an hour range, we've seen it move much faster than that on surface streets. And look at LAPD right on the tail of this suspect.
LAPD on the ground.
Oh, Thomas Young,
in
welcome.
the air following this pursuit. And Gil, you were saying that they've been doing a great job calling it. You know, and that is a challenge at these speeds.
Kalia?
It really is. Here he is, wrong side of the road. Boy, wow, what a dangerous move there. He's got, wow, look at that.
Wow, look at, yeah, and the cop's just following him.
But he's still
the cop's like, okay,
side of the road.
Let's go.
LAPD has their hands full for sure. And by the way, that was a spike strip attempt that they made there back just a minute or two ago with that officer out of his vehicle, but unfortunately it didn't work. But look at that. Here's a car making a left-hand turn, and a pursuit comes by him on the left. So a very dangerous situation for everybody out here tonight.
I'm not quite sure why the police are doing this.
To do anything, including
like, are you accomplishing anything here
by through red lights as the sun sets and dusk sets in? Visibility gets more challenging, and in some cases more
being
challenging
so close behind them. Like
than it is
he's driving over 60 through a very crowded area in the center lane. So like, what are you doing that's helpful by adding another car doing the same thing?
Sticking with this again.
Like that doesn't seem like it's helping anything. They're not stopping. So what are you doing here other than adding two cars in this super dangerous situation when maybe you could just have one?
We have so much open
you know, it
space,
doesn't. It also doesn't help anything. The guy's not going to stop. He's just going to drive faster if the cop's behind him. They have a tracking mode system for a reason, which is to hopefully get them to stop doing this. And you would think there's a much better chance of the person
just
slowing down a little bit if there wasn't a cop directly behind them. It's just my take on it.
You just saw it there. Didn't care what was ahead of him. just pulls right in that lane like it's his.
We don't have all the
continues.
facts.
There's
that's
more
for sure.
officers with spike strips.
More they tried again?
Like there was another couple of attempts there at that last intersection, but here he goes, continuing. This is eastbound MLK. He's been on MLK westbound, but he's eastbound. Now approaching the 110 freeway in a short distance.
You know, you wonder with the technology that we have if these suspects, you know, decide to tune in to the streaming and see and get some clues into what's ahead of them, you know, with the spike strip and all.
Yeah, Dimitri, you're right.
I mean, they've been unsuccessful so far. They keep trying, and that's also a challenge.
Yeah,
too,
and generally, Yin Yang, that's what they.
This suspect's
that's what they do.
It doesn't seem like.
And generally, they. Whoa! Like they generally understand that, like they're not making the situation safer by being directly behind them. But
you know,
yeah,
you
there's might be something we don't know.
You just wonder, like, what is on? They're trying to just keep
I can't
as much
imagine
freedom
what.
as they can,
Michael said if there's a report of a
before they
kidnapped
know
person, you have to keep
the
on them.
inevitable is going to happen.
It's like, well, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah, and I think they think they're
What are you
invincible,
doing
like
that's going to help?
happen to
There's
them,
the night sun.
But they're not taking into consideration other people that are driving. They have no idea what's going on. He comes right at them on the wrong side of the road. They don't know what to expect. They don't know how they're going to react. So it's extremely selfish for this driver to be like this, to drive at innocent drivers, go through red lights, cross streets, and not care for anybody else, just wanting to get away. It's so wrong. But here he is, southbound on Vermont. And unfortunately, we can't stay over due to the air traffic for LAX.
Once the helicopter runs out of fuel, then what?
As long as we can.
Oh, well, I mean, no. Excalibur, they don't get that far away.
Very close calls.
I mean, the tracking mode that they run, they're usually like several blocks away, not directly behind them. You know, if the helicopter were to run out of fuel, they would know that way ahead of time.
But
it's like this person can't like get away from their eyes.
We've seen it
being
4, 5,
directly
6 times
behind
in the
them
last
is a
15, 20
questionable
minutes.
situation.
Fortunately, no one's been hit that we can tell. Obviously, there's some damage to the rear fender.
Well, it's not like the cops are going to go home, but they don't need to be directly behind
that
them.
damage was not occurred.
Usually, even when they're doing like a tracking mode,
at this point, how that happened,
you
the car
can
was like that again.
Like the police will just suddenly pop up, and it's like, all right, so they weren't that far away. But
obviously, if it happened during the pursuit, it happened before we were over it. So no word or further explanation for that.
So they're getting close to LAX?
There have been very, very close calls with pedestrians and other vehicles, too many times to count, on surface streets at high rates of speed, and very fortunate, this community, at this point, that nothing terrible has happened with this driver moving the way he is. Now, you see him slowing down in the intersection, which is a good sign. We've seen erratic behavior and driving much worse than that in the last 15, 20 minutes. So to see him slowing down a bit at intersections is obviously a small bit of progress in an otherwise very tense, very reckless, and very dangerous pursuit.
Boy, no doubt. And he's now southbound on Figueroa at Slauson, going through that red light. So we'll stick with this as long as we can here with the long shot. But
okay, so it is that
this driver's on.
They are dealing with the no-fly zone. Not 30 minutes quite yet. We are about a minute and a half away.
LAPD, though, sticking with it now. Again, we know it's a carjacking suspect.
And Kostov, thank you for following.
Was that person that was carjacked still in the vehicle or not? We don't know that, so we'll work on getting that information as well. But here we go, a Gage. He's got nowhere to go except the wrong side of the road. Look at that, right through a big rig that was pulling out, and now he's going to go right through that red light.
Another spike strip. Nope,
you see
sorry.
That officer threw one out, and he decided, he saw it, and he decided, no,
okay. They keep trying, but man, they just are not putting themselves in a good position.
Officers doing whatever they can to bring this to a stop. Here he goes southbound. This is going to be bordering. He's going to get on the freeway.
Vic, we don't know that for sure,
but
no. Oh, look at this! You're really trying to get on this?
But look what he has ahead of him.
No.
Traffic.
Huh.
Yeah, looks like he's going to.
This is what you're trying to do?
This is when things can get a little bit dicey with a guy that's wanting to drive as fast as he is, drove on the surface streets, and now he's on the freeway. Oh, is he exiting?
No.
It looks like he's going to drive on the shoulder. And, you know, there's a lot of debris on the shoulder, so that could be the spike strip that we're looking for.
Yeah, no, she's right about that.
Spike strip, and we've seen it happen
Oftentimes we
before.
see people driving on the
Left
side, on the shoulder
you
for
don't
too
see
long, and
it,
their tires pop.
Obviously, a lot of stuff can.
Which, I mean, that could
gather
happen to
and
the
does
cop right
gather on
behind
the
him,
side of
too,
the
but,
freeways.
you know.
But look at this desperation.
Cop's got a
It
million
just-
cars.
and
This guy's only got one.
It appears aiming for the next off ramp and doesn't like what the driver sees on.
30 minutes. We're about to hit it.
There's not a lot of
We're,
maneuverability in this scenario.
All right, 30
Not sure what it looks like ahead. If it loosens up, there's room, and it looks like he wants to stay on the freeway, Gil.
He does. It looks like he's committed, at least at this point. We have Manchester, I believe he's coming up on.
So they're just going to keep getting further away
across
from
lanes.
us
He might go
here
into that,
on the news.
That fast track lane, let's see. But he's going to continue southbound.
Yeah, they all
We're
have
gonna to
basically the
make a
same view
move
right now.
To get back to
Okay, we'll run
the
another
south of
prediction,
the
but I'm
airspace that we
worried
cannot
that
go through right
maybe
now.
it
So I think we're going to make that
won't
move
matter
right now,
anyway.
we'll try to
I don't
keep it as long
know.
as we
Hopefully
can
we
here.
get to see
Jim,
more of
let's
it.
go ahead
Hopefully
and
this
make the move.
doesn't go so far away that they have to leave.
All right.
We'll see.
So we see here now this suspect, you know, wanted for carjacking.
Will he face? Yeah, Evo, he
we have
will.
Suspects, because there could very well be.
He will.
2 or 3 people inside.
Yeah,
this
Excalibur,
car.
you could
It's hard
lose
to
a
tell with
helicopter.
The windows being.
At least the news chopper.
tinted.
Oftentimes
So
the
we've
police
had a
chopper has a
hard
little
time
bit more,
at least,
as we
confirming
saw
how many
earlier,
people
the police
exactly are
choppers
in
have a
there.
little bit more
But we
ability
believe that there are
to
multiple suspects
go
in this
in there,
car.
but
and is that him
definitely
that
gonna
is-
lose a news
Is he now
chopper.
in the carpool lane?
it looks like the cops are not staying directly
Absolutely,
behind
yes.
him
And
out
there he
here.
goes crossing the lines. That's the vehicle. And
Yeah,
you'll see
Evo,
the
it's a
LAPD
long
has
list
dropped
for
back a little
sure.
bit because of that traffic. They're going to cut through traffic there. He's almost to the 105 freeway and Imperial Highway and the 105. So we'll try to keep a shot on
Jamie,
him
what's
as long
up?
as I can. That's the skid that's getting in our shot, but we can't help it because we're flying to the east to get around this airspace. Looks like he might be getting off there. He's all the way off to the right-hand side of the freeway. And yes, I think
Okay,
he
yin
just-
yang. Will that mean that
well,
the
it's hard to say. He might
but
have,
the
he did. He
the
exited
news choppers are gonna have to
Imperial
go around?
Highway, and we'll see
Is
which
that
way
right?
he goes. Hopefully, he comes east.
Yeah, into the haze of the night and dusk. Even our lens, as powerful it is on Sky 5, has its limits. As we try to stay with this again, there are air
NBC's
traffic
doing a
restrictions due to LAX airspace
better right
that we're having to
now.
avoid
Let's switch
here. So
over
we're to
there.
the north of that, and this pursuit is moving southbound through that LAX area, and it looks as though the
I should probably get CBS up too. They're probably on
We've
it.
apprehended at
Hold
least
on.
3 people or detained them. There were 2 suspects outstanding, and we think those 2 suspects, or at least one of them, may be in this white vehicle the LAPD is following.
That's correct. That's correct. We saw one person being taken into custody following the earlier pursuit when it ended in Compton, but there was a foot bail, meaning people ran out of that car, made a run for it, and yes,
CBS went
multiple
away from
people
it.
got
It's too far away, I
At
guess.
least 2 people we heard. We don't know how many people are in this car. Could be 1, could be 2, but this is believed to be connected to that earlier Compton incident.
You know, and we did notice that these windows are really tinted, so we haven't been able to get a close look.
Yeah, and shout out to our pilot up here in News Chopper 4, George, who's following this.
Okay,
from a
now it's
distance,
better
but with the
on
sun going down, this is
ABC,
going to be easier
but it's
because,
just
again,
gonna.
if they
They're
have
way
their lights turned on,
behind.
if they have
Still,
2
they're way
helicopters on
behind.
this, the lights are going to indicate to all of us in the air and on the ground too where this pursuit is headed. We're shooting this from miles out right now, but you can still see LAPD in hot pursuit behind this white car, and every couple of minutes, you know, we catch a glimpse of this car. I think it's crossing the 105 right now.
IU
Okay,
fan
is
Jerry,
that the
what's
105?
up?
I was going to ask you, is that the 105 that we see through the middle of the screen? And is this driver headed towards the airport or away from it at this point?
I think it's headed, this is headed actually south now. That's what this looks like to me. We might actually be getting into an area north of Compton where we can actually fly closer to it.
So is this the Imperial Highway, or has he bypassed that altogether?
This is, okay, what I'm zooming in on now, that freeway is going to be the 110.
The 110, okay.
So where is he?
And give us a
KTLA
moment
looks good.
here.
All right,
I'm
thank
going to
you.
toss it back to you
Let
on
me
the
jump
desk as
over
we
to
try
it.
and get
Well,
back
hold on.
overhead so we can actually
They
see what's going
they have
on
a
and where
much
this is
better
going.
view
This is
right
moving
now.
very
Okay, hold
quickly.
on. Somehow
Yeah,
they
moving
are
very
still
quickly.
on
This is
it.
a pursuit
Okay.
that we've been monitoring.
Somehow they are there.
We have at least 6
Okay.
units in pursuit
Are they
here
stopping out here? Are we
in
gonna
the
stop out
public
here?
housing area right now. This is Zamora, I believe, and 114th Street, traveling at a high rate of speed. Hard to keep a track of him. He's going to be coming out to 112th Street.
They are super
and,
far away.
narrow
They're doing
streets
pretty
in
good
there
here.
For sure. A lot of people
I feel like there's some
out
dead
on
end
foot
back here,
and a lot of
right?
vehicles still in this area, but he's going to be probably looking for a place to bail out here.
Yeah, this looks like the type of
as,
area where
continues
you
here
are
back
going to
southbound on
hit a
Zamora,
cul-de-sac or
and
something.
he's going to be going back towards the 105 freeway, and I'm sure he's looking for a place to bail right here in this neighborhood.
Yeah, it looks as though he is. And again, no idea how many people are in this car. We believe there are multiple suspects in this car. And it looks, based on our experience watching, that potentially there's a foot bail happening here. It's just remarkable there hasn't been a collision to this point. And terrific work staying with it, by the way, Gil, with your camera.
Yeah, it does look
pushing
like
to
some
the
kind of
limit,
housing project or something.
But somehow able to stay with this, and it moved back closer to us. We're dealing again with LAX airspace restrictions. LAPD
NBC's got some wild shit going on over
carjacking
here.
suspects. We believe
They're
multiple
showing
suspects in this
the car is actually on the
that have been moving at very high speeds
No, they're
for
looking
some
at a
time on
different
surface
car or
streets.
something.
At
I
a
don't know
couple
what's
points, we
going
saw
on.
over
Yeah,
100
they're looking
miles
at
an hour
something else.
on surface
Anyway.
streets before eventually getting on the 110 freeway southbound.
They're confused over there, I think.
And jumping off at Imperial Highway close to the 105 and into the neighborhood here.
Why did Nightbot task? It's
driving in
because you
circles now
put
at this point, which
a
might
dot,
indicate,
and
again,
Nightbot thought that
they're
you
familiar
were
with the area. They're
giving
looking
a
for place to
link.
foot bail,
Nightbot will
potentially.
delete a link
Hard to
if
say,
you're not
but
a
we
sub.
do know LAPD has been making an effort at a spike strip. They've done so on a number of occasions, unsuccessful to this point. There you see the LAPD airship.
Yeah, yin yang.
coming
That we've
right
seen
through
that
our
many
shot.
times.
So they have
It's
a
possible.
clear set of eyes on this, along with media eyes, by the way, which often help law enforcement.
What's up, Clear
apprehend
Joker? And what's
suspects
up,
who
Pen
eventually
Pusher?
will foot bail in a pursuit situation if they don't see, the
Going right
direction
through
they
here
ran.
again.
They'll often confer with media.
There's a lot of
helicopters
people
to
out here. I
help,
feel like I've
pinpoint
seen
the
this 100
suspect's
times.
location.
Yeah,
But you see
like Clear
LAPD
Joker
there
said, we've
with the
seen
night
this
shot of
area a
all
lot
these
of times on
suspects and a
chases.
clear shot, and LAPD
I can
not
think of one
letting this
time
one go, Gil.
specifically.
Very, very aggressive.
No. Yeah, it is very impressive.
Everyone
and
hit
they
the
are right
thumbs
on his
up.
tail. So any
What type of car? It's a
thinks of,
Camry.
jumping out and running. Those officers are ready to run as well, and they are right.
This
on
looks
him.
like we're
It's not gonna get much
definitely.
further.
Yeah,
There
this is it.
Here's the
Okay.
tail, the driver,
3,
passengers.
4,
Looks
3
like
of them.
3 possibly.
3 of 'em.
3. They're sticking together.
Okay.
Running
Get the night sun on them.
back
Okay,
towards
here we go.
Hooper, and we'll see those officers coming from right behind him. We got other units. They're trying to intercept them here in front, and they're going to be going 3 suspects. The white jacket in the lead, that's the driver, and it looks like he's going to come out. through that
Okay.
street, and we'll see. I'm hearing the air unit.
There
trying
he
to get
goes.
units to cut him off here. They're
No
thinking
way.
about going into that
You're
little
gonna try to
tent.
go into a
Maybe
tent,
not.
dude?
Looking for an open door, and they're going into what might be an open door there. Then they
What's
are.
up,
They're going
rapper? This
inside
has
that
been
apartment,
crazy.
And right next to that tent, but look at that. LAPD is right
Okay,
there.
they're right there, dude. What are you gonna do?
All 3 went in. It was an open door. They had a chance to go in there, and they did. So now they're going to set up a perimeter.
Why do they always
on
stay
both
together?
sides of the
Homer,
building.
earlier today, I think
So
they
it looks
didn't.
like they're not going to get away.
And
They're going to continue
yeah,
into this,
earlier today they
apartment
split up,
complex
but
here
this
off of
time.
Zamora, and we'll likely get these 3 in custody shortly.
Yeah, and it is highly likely they know who lives in this residence, or potentially it is their residence. But as we saw their,
It looked to me like they were
movements here
trying
in
to.
the
Yeah,
late
I don't
moments
know.
of the
They
pursuit,
looked
Gil,
like they were
it
going.
was pretty clear
I don't
that,
even know.
as they circled in this neighborhood, that they were looking for a place to bail. And they, in fact, did just that. So
Yeah,
a
potential
perimeter
long
is being
standoff
set
here,
up,
but they must have
and
known
Gil, I
where they were
assume,
going.
more resources coming into the neighborhood.
They must
Absolutely,
have.
more resources, and I'm hearing now that they have 1 of those suspects in custody. He might have tried to get out another way out of this building. So the 2 still outstanding, 1 in custody, they're saying.
All right, we'll continue to track this and come back to the scene as warranted. Here again, carjacking suspects.
This is the only one that's
very
over the
high
top of it
speeds,
right now. The
eventually
other news
foot-failing
stations are
here
not.
At Hooper and 114th, one suspect in custody. We understand LAPD officers.
The other
still
news
trying to
stations
get,
are not. Wait, you
two
know,
more
CBS is.
potentially, into
So we'll
custody,
switch over there. This is the
as
best
we
view,
continue
though.
to track what
We'll
happens
switch
here
over
from
there if we
Sky
have
5,
to.
and we'll get back to it.
If they are going to
as
go away from
warranted.
me here.
Here now on the news at 6:30. I'm Micah Ullman with you. We move to this. Friends, family, and colleagues gathering tonight to pay tribute to Deputy Andrew Nunez, who was shot and
Yeah, the cop who died the other day.
Not a vehicle. I saw at least two, but Desmond, of course, you can correct me on that if I'm wrong. They exited this vehicle after stopping in
Oh, they still have it on
unit in
KTLA
Watts,
as
and now
well.
police officers are
Okay, hold
trying
on.
to find out where they are, but they also had a group
They've got the
of,
view of where the guys
people that
ran in,
obviously
but
came
over
out of
here,
those apartment
they ran in
buildings
over
and
here where the
start
pink
running,
tent
which to
is.
me almost looked like they were just trying to confuse officers even more.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I've got to point out, Pat, because this is not the first time we've had a pursuit end in this community, and it was almost exactly what happened that last time as well, where we had suspects that were kind of just they were driving around this community for a little bit. They were waiting. People came out, and then they got out and jumped into a crowd and tried to blend in with people.
I remember that specifically, and I had a video about that.
That was a very difficult situation for
And
LAPD,
I always thought that should have been a viral video. This was years ago. He's talking about an incident that happened like 2 or 3 years ago. And
that suspects used earlier today, and I believe
I made a video about it, and I thought it was just a killer video, and it never took off. And it was.
They were wearing, at least one or two of them were wearing the same clothes that were being worn by the suspects earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
So there is no doubt a connection there.
So
We
this
can't
is
say
connected.
definitively that all four of
But
them
there was
were-
this one
that it
where
was
these guys jumped out here, and
definitely a
it
very
was
strong
so
suspicion that
dumb.
at least it was
Like
at
they
least
jumped
one
out and they ran
of those
around
four that was
and
involved from earlier
they
today.
blended in with the crowd, and I don't know that the police ever figured out who they were. But to even dumber, they jumped out of the car and someone else jumped in it, and then that person drove the car and crashed it. It was so dumb, it made no sense.
On all four of them, of just noticing the
Someone
spotlight
took
out
the
on
car.
this
It was like a
building right
stolen
here.
car or whatever, right? And they jumped out in this place, and there were tons of people outside, so it was allowed them to like blend in. But then someone else ran in the car and drove it, and they like crashed it like right away, like immediately. Before they even got out of the neighborhood, they crashed it. So dumb.
difficult situation for
What's up, Zen?
LAPD today.
You
And
call
of
me a
course,
sheep. What's up?
They will obviously be there for a while. They want to get these suspects into custody. I believe earlier we mentioned that two of the people that were involved in the earlier pursuit were detained. So if that's the case, I thought I saw two this time around, but if you said four, then we're talking about 6 people that could possibly be involved.
6 people?
Yeah, and you know, so it was 4 earlier today, and we saw 4 get out of the vehicle and run here.
I only saw 3.
You know, if that's,
I think
now,
he's
here's
wrong.
The thing too is that the person that
There were only
LAPD
3
was
people, right?
suspecting from earlier was
At first
the
I thought it was
person
4,
who
but I'm
got
pretty
in
sure it
a
was only
waiting
3.
Car. So there must have already been 3 people waiting in the car. Were they the 3 people from earlier today, and then we have the 3 plus 1, or was it one of the people from earlier today, and then and completely
Look at all these
different
people.
But once
Yeah,
again,
no problem. I
we
saw that you were like working in
people
the
coming that had
liquor
absolutely
store or
nothing to
something.
do with this, with LAPD pursuing allegedly violent suspects with multiple alleged violent crimes, robbery, and armed carjacking, and we have a large group that's now coming out and interfering with this operation. And we saw them
Interfering?
getting in LAPD's face earlier today at that other community, the same thing. And LAPD at one point was talking about setting up a skirmish line, and they had to call in for help because people were making themselves involved
Yeah,
in something
exactly.
that had,
But in
nothing to do
Controller's
with
End, the
them.
thing that was amazing about that
looks
last
like
time
that's happening again. We just
was
kinda
that they
moved
were
again
all
from
wearing
Fox
the
right now, so
same
that's why our
thing.
shot got a little
There were
bit
like tons
farther
of
away,
men
but,
standing out there wearing
so,
white
yeah,
hoodies
it's
with the
basically
hood
deja
up
vu from earlier
and
today,
blue
Pat.
jeans and white
Wow.
hoodie.
I
And it was
see,
like they
quite
all
a
just
few
blended in. They all
units.
looked the
I would
same.
suspect that more will
And
be
one of the
coming to
suspects in the
area
car
since
was
we see
wearing the
people
same
just
thing.
running
It was like it was
out of buildings
coordinated
to,
almost. It was wild. So
be
3 went
involved, and
downward
they're
of the
not
camera,
supposed to
1
be.
went
You know,
upward.
I
So
don't
there
wanna
were
say to
4.
join in the
Okay.
melee, 'cause it hasn't got to that point yet. And
It
we
looked to
certainly
me like
hope,
there were 4 when they
that
first
it
got out of the
doesn't,
car,
but,
and then it was
more and
only
more
3.
people are running to the scene where these suspects have gotten out, ran, and obviously gone into some of these apartment units.
Yeah, and like I said, it's also just deja vu because this same thing has happened at this exact same community before, where suspects got out and ran, and you know, they were wearing hoodies, and then they immediately ran into
He
a group
remembers
of,
it.
a bunch of other people that were also wearing hoodies, and were able to kind of blend in.
That was
and
amazing.
it makes it
I'm surprised that we
extremely
all
difficult
remember this
for,
so well.
LAPD
I swear to God, that was like at least
find the
2.5
right
years
suspects
ago.
here when you
That
have
was
a lot of
so
people that
long
are
ago.
wearing similar clothing
That happened a
out here.
really long
So,
time ago.
We had to move basically well south of the 105 right now because I think LAPD needed some extra space for their helicopters, and then it was also barely in LAX's airspace. So actually, my pilot Dylan is doing a great job dealing with all this. Was telling me that apparently Hawthorne Airport, because we're also on the final approach for them, they had an incoming flight, so we had to get out of the way for them. Hopefully we can move back in shortly to
If
get
you see the warm streetlights of Clear Joker, they haven't
view at
replaced
this,
them yet.
but, you know, we may have the suspect hold up again in another unit if this is, you know, someone else that they know, or if this is where they live, or a family member, or what the deal is. But it's almost a verbatim repeat of what we had earlier this afternoon.
Wow. All right. Well, that's
It is,
certainly,
yeah. It's like what happened
disturbing for a
earlier
lot of
today.
People that live in that neighborhood to have all of that.
Same thing that happened like 3 years ago.
And
But these
again, we
guys
just
aren't
don't
as smart.
know how
Like last
dangerous
time, they
this could
literally
be with
blended
these
in.
suspects. So we hope
And
people that live in this area
I remember they
are
arrested
on
one
the lookout,
guy,
keep their
and it was
doors
very
closed
unclear
because
whether or
we don't
not he was
necessarily
actually
know
the
what to
driver of the
expect and how
car.
this could end. And Desmond, we're going to push our viewers.
And it was
to
just
watch,
hilarious that
our
someone thought that it was
newscast at
smart
8
to
p.m.
like
on CBS LA
steal
at 9
the car,
on KCAL 9. We'll have
and then they
more
crashed
on
it
this
right away. It
pursuit
was
than
that
the
was
other
one of
news
the
of
dumbest
today,
things
but
I've
right
seen.
now we're going to send our viewers back to
It was
regular
a super memorable chase. So, I mean, the chase wasn't memorable. The end of it was memorable. I don't remember at all what happened in that chase or how they got in that situation. But I do remember the ending of it. And I remember it specifically because I made a video about it, and I've posted it at least 3 or 4 times over the years, trying to get it to hit because it's a really interesting one.
They have one suspect in custody. Not sure how they.
But it never does. I post it over and over, nobody cares.
Got into another apartment and made his way out the front door of that apartment.
We did the replay and we found out he was a driver. Okay. Right, no, I remember now. Yeah.
They've called for additional units to respond to this area.
We traced him.
We're starting to move in a little closer now. We're clearing some airspace, but that's the perimeter that.
Yeah, one is in custody. Apparently, those 3 guys who ran may be inside of this building. But apparently, there's one other guy, and maybe they got him. Maybe 4 people got out. 3 of them ran into this building. I don't know what the other one did, but what's the score of the game now?
My map is telling me 11,309 Hooper Avenue. 11,309 Hooper, and the cross is 114th.
3-1 Toronto now? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think they're doing? Yeah, I don't know. Good question. What are they doing?
The suspects ran around this side of the building.
And yeah, El Homer, I got a feeling, you know, and maybe,
That pink tent that you see. For a minute there,
maybe
they were thinking about hiding in the tent, and then they realized there was an open door here to one of the.
they can do all this over again. Where apparently earlier they ran inside of an apartment and hid for a while, and then all of a sudden they were running from the police in another car. So that seems pretty unlikely, but could happen.
But LAPD was on their tail.
It seemed unlikely then, too. I don't know how the hell they got out and back in another car. Like, what the hell happened there?
The pursuit was a very dangerous, high-speed chase on surface streets, at times reaching 85 miles an hour. Wrong side of the road, multiple red lights.
Update bingo card. What did we fail to get?
Ran, fortunately.
Oh, a foot chase.
Nobody hit by the vehicle. No other cars involved that we know of. There was some damage on the vehicle that we saw initially when we got over the chase. We hadn't heard that there was a crash, although there was that damage, so we're waiting on word to know if the driver actually hit somebody or if that damage was previously there.
Yeah, unless there's a tunnel between the buildings, don't see right. I mean, other than just to buy time, but also Pen Pusher, like what happened earlier today, that would lead them to believe that running into an apartment somehow can work. Because I mean, if they pulled this off once already, they're walking away. They're walking away from the door for whatever reason. They got to finish watching the rest of the game. There you go. Like the guy, what was it, last night who was doing that thing? Was that last night? I don't remember. Whatever night that was. Oh, it was the night before. The night of the 18-inning game. Are we sure it's not a hallway? Yeah, maybe they're in a hallway. But I don't, it looks like these could be like individual entrances to these apartments. But I don't know. It could be. We saw him go into like this door or this door. I think it was this door. So I don't think they're in that tent, but who knows? If they were able to run into an apartment complex, if you guys didn't see the chase earlier today, the news station that was there was having real bad connection issues, so we really only got to see part of it, but they pulled into an apartment complex, a different one, jumped out. It was 4 different people, and they ran into an apartment somewhere, maybe different apartments, I don't even know. It looked like they split up a bit. And the cops are just moving away now. That's what they were doing on the other side, and that's what they're doing here. But apparently they all ran an apartment, and then somehow they ended up in a car again and were on the run from the police. So how the fuck that happened, I don't know. I wish I knew. But the news station was unable to stick with it. They have weapons drawn. They do. They went to the tent and then the one right below the tent. Yeah, okay. There's no hallway. It's all apartment doors. Yeah, probably. But then there's like 2-story. Each one of these is 2 stories. Each apartment. So the building surrounded. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They have a perimeter over here. I don't see anybody over here. But, yeah, so I don't know if surrounded is the right word. Doesn't look, I don't know. I assume they have police everywhere. I don't really know. They're hiding behind someone's car? I don't know. I would assume they're inside here. Yo, Nighty Gaming, welcome. What's up? If you just got here, you have missed.
Got to catch them all, Pock Pikachu.
Gotta catch them all. You've missed this wild police chase. So it was a crazy one, actually. They were driving extremely recklessly through like heavy traffic. They don't got sound. No, they're not talking right now. But this one was like super high temperature, crazy one. Really crazy chase. But they all ended up here in this housing project, apparently in this building. This is where we saw them go. They ran right over here. They ran wherever they dropped their car. The news has not pointed back to where the car was. Where has Gina said hi? Gina was here. Where was the spot where they dropped their car, where they jumped out? This is a cop car, right? This isn't their car. Or is it? No, this is a cop car. So where was the car that they got out of? They did run quite away. Is the building empty? We don't know. Hopefully, their car was white. All right, Honeyberry, what's up? So it's somewhere over in here, or it's up here, up top. It was a white Camry. It was to the right. It was over here because they ran all the way over here and then around. Okay. Now the police are walking very casually, but they got their like masks and they got their sticks. Are they going to go break this door down? It seems like it was the right side where they panned the camera. Okay. Are they going to go break this door down? They were over here, but now we don't see them. They went in this door, right? This one. Because they went by the fence. They didn't go in this one, right? It was this one over here. I think. Yeah, controller's in. I don't think I'd want to be there, but... Jamie, who knows? It's... Yeah, there's two doors right here. I thought it was this one, but I don't know. The police walked over here, but we haven't seen them again. They're all standing down here. Or a few of them anyway. Each walkway goes to two doors. Yeah, so it's one of these two. Wish the copper would pan. Yeah, I wish they'd fly over here. There might be some restriction keeping them from going over there. You'd think they could just fly over there real quick. This is the only spot where there might actually be, hold on. There may be another camera.
Different way. I give very...
No. As far as I can tell, there's no other news stations that are going to give us a look at this right now. Lee, welcome. Nash B, welcome. I wish that our guy, Gil, would come back and tell us what other information he might have. Let me see if I can find anything else.
Hey, Sam, go ahead.
What do you got for us, Sam?
Copy that. Thank you. Copy that. Thank you.
What did he say? All we know is that one suspect got out and got caught. It's literally all we know. And they've put up all this tape to try and just create a perimeter so that people can't walk in there. Yeah, I don't know why there's no cops back there, Greg. They moved. They were standing here and then they backed up. And it's a good question why they left. Get in the chopper, still failure, does not work. I have a feeling they're going to leave. What is this? It just seems like there's very little movement from the police. Seemed like some of them went down here. We haven't seen them again. They had like riot helmet on or whatever.
Is that really?
Okay, so the car's over here. Here we go. There's their car.
There's the car. Okay.
There's two police in the dark up here. There's two of them up here, Bunny. How do you know? You can see them? They standing right over here. They're just trying to wait them out. Yeah, but like, I mean, you've got to have some kind of plan here. Robot win, exactly. Yo, Roy, welcome. Yeah, robot. Oh, there's the two cops right there. You're right. Okay, I can see them. I assume Tosk could possibly be right that they're like waiting for a SWAT team. That's what they do in the movies anyway. They'll bring the dogs. So what, they break down the door and then send dogs in? I mean, they have no idea, like, if there are other people in there, right? So, like, I mean, there has to be. There's got to be, like, theoretically innocent people in there. Toss a tear gas? Yeah, like they could do that. Like they could break down the door and then do something like that, right? The dogs to scare them out? Maybe, but like, I know that that's usually the purpose of the dog. Maybe that would work. PK, it's been over, but the part that's not over is that these suspects, 3 of them ran into an apartment and they don't know what to do about that. Tear gas indoors can cause a fire. Good point. The idea isn't to go in, it's get them to come out. Right. Do we know which unit? Yeah, they saw which one they went in. So they do know. Sam, welcome. Right now there's a standoff where these three guys went into an apartment building in this housing project, and I'm not sure what the police plan is. I mean, I'm sure they want them to come out, but how they're going to make that happen is very unclear. As far as we can tell, they are just waiting. They should be watching baseball. I mean, maybe the guys ran in there and they're watching baseball, but these police are probably mad that they're not. Please enter the units. Yeah, Sam. Theoretically, they could. It's illegal. No, Sam, it's illegal here as well. It's just there are always circumstances where it's legal, you know? Dodgers game is on Fox.
Hello there. Top of the 7. Okay, ready to go. Thank you.
Live at 7, yeah, okay.
Copy that. They're about to come to me.
They're going to go on TV right now, and then he's going to give us whatever updates he has. Is this live? Yeah, CM. It's so live.
1 minute. They're coming to me in 1 minute. Copy that. Listening now.
We did have a passenger exit, Barry. I don't know. Bingo basically over with, man. We did pretty good with the bingo today, though. We got a lot of squares on here. We got 8 squares on the bingo. This one might go to 19 innings. Oof. Well, right now, Dodgers are going to need to score a little bit more to make that happen. Top of the 7th. Snell is still in the game.
Well, Sharon, Micah, this is where the pursuit came to an end. This is 111th and Zamora. I'll zoom into the pursuit vehicle underneath a tree right there. LAPD is around it. I can tell you that 3 suspects bailed out and ran through the neighborhood here, ended up in this apartment complex here in the center of your screen. They were trying to get into that tent, but they actually went into one of the doors here that was open to one of the apartment complexes. We haven't seen them since, although LAPD says one of those 3 suspects are in custody at this point. But let's go to the video of the chase. This was an extremely dangerous chase through surface streets in South LA. It was going up and down the 110 freeway at times. It ended up on Martin Luther King and went all the way out to Crenshaw and then back on Martin Luther King to the 110 freeway. So many close calls on intersections. The vehicle was driving in the wrong direction at times into oncoming traffic. We had pedestrians, multiple pedestrians that had to get out of the way of this driver. The driver desperate to get away, using any lanes possible to make that happen. But then he jumped onto the 110 freeway southbound, went all the way down and got off on Imperial Highway. That's where the pursuit continued into Nickerson Gardens, and that's where the vehicle ended up pulling over at 111th and Zamora. The three suspects jumping out and running into this apartment complex here in the center of your screen. We have not seen the two yet come out. The LAPD has a big perimeter set up here. It is fully contained, so they still believe that those two remaining suspects are inside of this apartment complex. So now it's just a matter of time to flush those suspects out and get them all in custody. But we understand at least one is in custody, two still outstanding on this pursuit termination. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Gil. Anyway, what is the red tent led to a manhole? Really? Yeah, I was wondering, what the hell is this tent? They did not go into the tent. They were going to. All right, they're leaving. That's the end of it. Okay. Thanks, Gil. We are. That's
Sky
it.
5, we cleared that. Is it still going? I don't hear it now. Copy that. Do you want us to head back, or what's the plan?
Okay. That's it. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. Well, we won't see, but maybe we'll hear about it later. Who knows? Maybe not. But maybe they'll show up. They'll pop out. They'll get in another car. You know? Can we watch the game through you? I mean, I wish I could show you the game right now. Top of the 7th. No outs. The Blue Jays have a runner on second. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Oh, it's in the dirt. It's in the dirt. Okay. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm going to go watch the game. You guys. More chase in LA. More chases. That would be nice. Enjoy the game. All right, you guys too. They might be changing pitcher here soon. That's what you need. If only you could see it. All right, ground ball. Shortstop's got it, and he's out at first base. 1 out. Runner remains on second. Okay. If I go live again, it's because there's another police chase. Don't have it live. I guess I could put it in the Discord or something. So, anyway, if you guys want to do that, we'll do that.